Alright guys, Rich here from the RCNetwork, and I wanted to show you guys the light kit I picked up for my Sprint 2 Get My Drift series. Now this is the GT Power LED system. Picked this up from Asia Tees, and I gotta say that for what you get in the box here, it is a lot of bang for your buck, especially when you consider walking into your local hobby shop and trying to pick up something of the equal capacity, because you'll be paying 50, 60, 70 bucks for an LED light system here in the States, where this thing was quite a bit less. So there will be a link in the video description directly to this GT Power LED system. But let's go ahead and open this box up. Let's see what you get inside the box. Then I'm going to be busy installing this on my Get My Drift Supra, and complete with the light buckets there on the body. And we'll see how this GT Power system really turns out in the end of this video. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Let's see what you get inside the box here, and we'll kind of go from there. So it comes in a plastic kind of tackle box that I will definitely reuse for other projects. So some of the branding on here, GT Power, it's kind of a somewhat a generic looking icon there, but let's go over some of the specs here. This is a full set of LEDs for a 1/10 scale car, so it gives you all the pieces and modules, and even down to some of the tape to get this thing installed in your car. Now the cool thing and why I picked this one up is it has 8 available light set interfaces, and then 6 kinds of flashing modes, even a breathing version, which is pretty cool. So definitely wanted to check that thing out. Let's see on the flip side over here, just GT Power, and that's basically a quick model number for you guys, and it'll be in the video description as well. There we go. So let's open this thing up. Let's see what we get inside the box. So inside here, it kind of has a kind of foam little protector here to keep everything inside the box. Let's see if I can spill all of this stuff out. There we go. So right here, this is the little owner's manual. Looks like you got some picture and English instruction to kind of get you going as far as how to install. Has like a dip switch type interface, and just all the different kind of flow chart of how to get things lit, and the different options of the flashes. So, and then of course you get a different language right there. Alright, on to some of the lights and stuff. Let's see the boring stuff first. Inside here, these little tiny little zip ties, which are pretty cool. Those are like little 2-inch zip ties. You have all the different light little mount deals where you just drill a hole, snap that in, LED just pops straight into your body. So that's pretty cool. Looks like you got a myriad of 5mm and 3mm versions. Double-sided tape, more double-sided tape, and looks like you also have some wire mounting little deals there too. Pretty cool. On to some of the other stuff here. Let's see, before we get to just the lights. Looks like this is going to be the module right there. Those are the dip switches that we were talking about. Looks like there's another deal here that goes up to a switch, I believe. Oh, that goes up to a receiver lead, so that's going to be able to go straight into a receiver. And it looks like you have your switch right there too. I'm sure you can mount somewhere on the vehicle. Onto the LED lights. Let's check out these things. There's lots of them. I can't believe how many there are, and these are obviously kind of plug and play. What you want is what you plug in. So there's a various ones of oranges, whites. They have 3mm, 5mm. They have the reds, and very nice LED system here. So all kind of color coded with the white and red. So pretty cool. Let's get this thing installed, and I'll show you guys what this looks like on that Toyota Supra. Alright, and we're back now, and I went ahead and I've decided to go ahead and show you guys some of the internal portions of installing this light kit, because I just think it's fair. So originally I was just going to show what comes in the box and then it installed, but I think I need to point out a couple of things because unfortunately the instructions are just they're a little too vague, and they don't really go over some of the details that I think if you're looking to buy this kit you should know before you buy it. So here's the first thing is I went ahead and I removed the light buckets from the Supra body. These are the rears right here, and pretty much what you're going to be doing is you're going to be actually cutting holes into the light buckets. I just used a hole reamer or body reamer to get the holes cut. You just have to be careful because sometimes these little pieces in here are very, very thin, and if you start to tear it, that's when things go sideways. So the kit does provide you these little clips right here that help mount in the LED lights. The kit gives you a various numbers of both 3mm and 5mm LEDs. However, when you're actually cutting with your body reamer, you want to do the 5mm LEDs at right about 6mm is what you want to cut them to. And oddly enough, the 3mm ones you want to cut to about 4.5mm. And what's cool about my particular body reamer is it actually has a depth gauge on there to help me figure that stuff out. So pretty cool. Anyways, so once you get those things done, you do need to start deciding what lights you want where. The kit actually doesn't tell you which lights, which 5mm or 3mm go to what position. It just says put them in accordingly. So I kind of guessed here. These are the 3mm backup lights, the white ones. These are going to be the only red included in the kit, so I put those right here, the 5mm. And then I use the orange 3mm turn signal on the far side. So I do have an open space there, and it's not a big deal. And let's look at the fronts here. The fronts turned out pretty nice. The portions of it were very, very thin, but what I did here was, once again, the orange 3mm, and then two 5mm headlight or white LEDs. So those should mount in pretty nice. Now, when I originally painted the body up, I stuck these in with just some Parma tape, which came out very nicely once I had to install the light kit. So pretty cool. So now all I need to really do is go ahead and install this big kind of module thing here with the switches and all of the different receiver leads. Figure out how this thing works because the instructions really don't tell you specifically how this installs. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a crack and get this thing installed into the Supra body. We'll kind of go from there. Alright guys, and I'm back now, and I went ahead and got everything installed now. Now, in the previous segment of this video, I actually covered the light buckets and how I kind of installed the LEDs into the light buckets. Well, I actually made a mistake. The signal lights, or the orange little 3mm lights, one strand of lights need to go from the front all the way to the back on the right side and on the left side. So I think I actually had those mixed up a little bit in the previous segment. So keep that in mind when you're installing your GT power system. So I did a couple different variations of installing this, and you'll see here in the roof of the Supra, if I can get this up here, I actually have all the modules kind of mounted inside the roof here. I'll get this thing a little bit closer for you guys to see. And you see there I gotta have the main module that kind of controls everything with the dip switches, and also the other module that kind of goes up to the main receiver lead. So I installed that inside the roof. It just makes easier sense to unplug 3 plugs instead of 6 or 8 plugs if you want to actually fully remove the body. So right now this is kind of what I'm running, and you'll see inside here there's all sorts of silver tape. That's actually silver duct tape that I actually borrowed from my daughter. So these little clips that came in the kit are very handy. They're one-sided, so you just double-side stick it and kind of slide the wires in there, and they won't actually retract from that little capture portion of it. So, but everything is stuck inside there with the included tape, the included little clips, and then I used some silver duct tape here just to so it wouldn't be seen on the outside of the body. So that's basically it here. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention was the way that the receiver plugs work. There's actually two female receiver leads that come out, and you basically plug your throttle into one and your steering servo into the other one. So that basically controls, the fore, aft, and right or left movement of the vehicle, and determines what lights need to turn on. So let me go ahead and get this thing mounted up. I'm going to dim the studio lights here so you guys can see some of these LEDs in action. Alright, so I went ahead and turned the HPI Sprint to get my drift on there, and as you see there is kind of the daytime running lights. Now what's really kind of odd is me here in the studio, the lights look constant, but actually in the video you can actually see them slightly pulsate a little bit, which is a little bit odd. So I'm not sure why they're doing that on the video screen, but they in the studio here they are fine. So go ahead and test out the blinkers. One thing that was kind of odd with the blinkers was when I originally hooked all this up, I had quite a bit of trim on the one right side of the vehicle, and the right blinker just was on non-stop. Well, it took me a little while to actually figure out that that's what was causing it, so I went ahead and reset my servo. I've been doing lots of different upgrades to this vehicle, so it, I'm not sure why I missed that. But anyways, I recentered my servo, got it centered, and now the blinkers are off, so it doesn't look like I'm making that eventual right-hand turn. So let's go ahead and turn the signals on. So you'll see right there on the one side, you get the blinker on when I'm turning it, and I'll show you guys right here in the frame as well. And we'll go ahead and turn it the other side. You can see those blinkers on. You can actually see the reflection on the back for the rear tail light. So, but pretty cool. And you'll see the daytime running lights on there. That pretty much just stays on all the time. And then when you start giving the car some throttle, you can kind of see it go on there, but then when you get a little bit more, you actually get the brights on, which is pretty cool. So really cool with the drift portion of this, because you can really see when you're getting into the throttle, when you're getting into the turn. So here's the rear section of it. Also, you can see the kind of the rear tail lights on right there, just barely. You can just barely see those. So we're going to go ahead and do the blinkers again. And on the other side, and then it actually includes backup lights, so when I go ahead and hit the rear, you can actually see the backup lights come on. So pretty cool. That's basically it. I kind of really enjoyed installing this GT power system. It was given a nice look to my Get My Drift series, and I will have a link to this thing in the video description, so if you guys want to check this out, it's available at Asia Tees. So that's it for now, guys. If you have any questions about this system or the Get My Drift series, please post it on down below. And as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.